Welcome back to Decked Out.
On today's episode, we are joined by CovertGoBlue and PowrDragn, and our players are on a budget. Each player was able to spend $250 with our sponsor, TOA.
As always, thank you to our sponsors, Tales of Adventure, Moxfield, and Ultimate Guard, but more on them later in the video.
That's enough from us for now. Let's go ahead and meet the players.
Hello guys, it's me, it's CGB, and I have a YouTube channel, CovertGoBlue, and I am here to play Zendikar Rising's worst mistake ever, Omnath, Locus of Creation. Look, you can do whatever you want. You can blow up my enchantments, my artifacts, my creatures, but you're not going to touch my lands, are ya? You don't have the stomach for it, and that's what this deck needs. It's all it needs. Lands, lands, and more lands.
What's up, y'all? I'm PowrDragn. You've probably seen me on YouTube putting up content every single day. But today, we're playing some Commander, and I'm getting to play Tam Luminous Enigma. Our plan? We're going to put a lot of counters on a lot of cards, and then hopefully be able to get some stuff out of the graveyard so we can combo people. We want to get things that put +1/+1s, vigilance, and we're just going to see where this goes, because we have some big finishers that should be able to combo the table.
Hello everybody, I'm MTGNerdGirl, and today I have brought the 5th Doctor and Perry Browne to the table. I'm going to be making a bunch of token creatures and vehicles to really take advantage of the +1/+1 counter, the untap, and the convoke. So we've got a lot of interaction, and we're going to go wide to take over the board.
I'm VeggieWagon, and I'm going to be playing Nekuzar the Mind Razor, which is one of the cards that typically makes you reconsider who is your friend. But I've made it very clear to the rest of the table that I'm not playing any wheels in this deck in the hopes that they will let me keep it on the board, because it's a cool card, and I don't think they'll realize that even without any wheels, it's still going to deal them a ton of damage.
Today's featured sponsor is Tales of Adventure.
The way that we stayed within budget for these decks was by buying them from Tales of Adventure.
In fact, now that the show is weekly, we are constantly putting in orders with them, and we even get to take advantage of our own 5% off discount code using Decked Out at checkout.
And really, it's the easiest way for you to support the show, so make sure to check out the link that we've always got in the description and the comments.
That's enough from us for now. Let's go ahead and see what the players brewed.
Welcome to the table. Let's see who goes first.
Yeah, man.
12.
12.
9.
15.
What?
Oh, well, not me.
My only advantage is always winning the die roll.
I blame the green dice.
That's a good reason.
Everybody good?
Yeah.
I think so.
I'm going to start with a Razor Tide Bridge and pass.
Evolving Wilds. Who's playing Stifle? That one. I'm going to crack it now.
Where's my free stifle?
I found a forest, and it's tapped, and it's your turn, PowrDragn.
Oh, that's going to have to wait a while. But I get to cast, with the forest, a Llanowar Elf. The first mana ramp thing I ever cast in the history of Magic. So your turn.
I'm going to play this Xander's Lounge and pass.
Plains. Pass the turn.
Untap, upkeep, and draw. Let's go Island. Let's go Arcane Signet, because I'm a Commander player. Your turn.
All right. I'm going to play Razor Verge Thicket. And I think I'm going to cast a Lae'zel. She's a 3/3 for 3, which is already good. But if I get to put a counter on something, I get to put an additional counter on it, which is going to be pretty good later. All right, so no Soul Ring turn 1, but I have a Llanowar Elf. Turn 2, I have Lae'zel. This should be good enough, and honestly, going to give us a big jump start once we start getting all those counters. Pass.
Huh. That ramp. Huh. Oh, well, we'll take that. I'm going to play a Swamp and play this Soul Ring that I just drew.
No!
And I guess then I should also tap that Soul Ring and play this Dimir Signet.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
And you were just complaining about me ramping. Like,
I'll pass the turn. I didn't have the Soul Ring. It just came to me because I was complaining, which is how Commander works.
All right, well, I have an end of your turn play. I'm going to cast Raise the Alarm for 2. I'm going to put 2 1/1 white soldier creature tokens into play, and now I can punish Veggie for his ramping.
Yeah.
I agree with this plan.
Punch him good.
I'll take 2 damage for a Soul Ring.
Would that balance it?
3 damage would balance it, but you have to make it 0. That costs 0.
You know, mana burn was a thing back in the day. Sometimes you took 1 for your soul ring.
Hey,
That's a downside.
I remember the ancient times.
We were there when they were written.
When the rocks were soft.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Sea of Clouds for turn, and we are going to play Faramir, Steward of Gondor. He's a 2/2 that says whenever a legendary creature with mana value 4 or greater comes into play under my control, I get to become the monarch. And at the beginning of my end step, if I am the monarch, I get to make 2 1/1 white human soldiers. Or in this case, cats.
Oh, the Monarch. We like the Monarch. That's more card draw for Nekuzar.
And then, Veggie, I don't appreciate it. Take 2.
I don't appreciate it. Also take 2.
And then I will pass the turn.
All right, time to monopolize your time. I'm going to cast a Lotus Cobra. That is a 2/1 with landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under my control, I make a mana of any color. Lotus Cobra is just a harmless little snake. It's just gonna make a little mana. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Then I will play a Broker's Hideout. This is a land that when it enters the battlefield, I sacrifice it, and then I search my library for one of those lands, and it does landy things. It actually enters untapped. Fun fact. When it enters, I will make a blue mana for the brand with Lotus Cobra. I will sacrifice Broker's Hideout, and I'll gain 1 life. And I will search my library for a Plains.
Oh no, CGB's winning.
This seems like cheating.
Oh, they don't even know. It's only just begun. I found basic Plains that will enter the battlefield. I'll make another blue mana with Lotus Cobra. I will spend the 2 blue mana and use the Arcane Signet for green. I'll play a Springbloom Druid. This is a 1/1 Elf Druid. When it enters the battlefield, I'll sack a land. If I do, I search my library for 2 basic lands and put them onto the battlefield tapped, and I shuffle. I will sacrifice this forest, and I'll go find 2 more basic lands.
I see what's going on now.
Those lands enter the battlefield, so I'll make 2 blue mana for the brand. Then I will pass the turn and fizzle that blue mana. Go ahead, PowrDragn.
I really thought you were going to do something with all that blue mana.
I did too.
I guess I'll make some mana, but it won't be nearly as impressive. I'm going to play a Sakura Tribe Elder, which is a little bitty 1/1 old school. I can sacrifice it, search for a basic land, and I think I'm just going to do that right now. Assuming I can find a swamp. It does come into play tapped, unfortunately, so I can't use the black mana right now. But I do have a Birds of Paradise I can cast with that Llanowar Elf from a couple turns ago. I think I'm supposed to attack CGB here.
Yeah, I think you're supposed to do that.
The Soul Ring!
So
he actually can make more mana than me.
Lotus Cobra is not to be underestimated. I'll attack CGB for 3. I would gladly trade Lae'zel for both of those.
Yeah,
guys.
I'm just going to take 3.
All right, Veggie, it's your turn.
I'm known for not respecting green creatures. I was just thinking about throwing them under the bus.
I think it's just time for the man that everybody loves.
Uh-oh.
It's Group Hug, we draw extra cards.
That's not what it is.
It's Group Hug.
Yeah, if you're like a 500-pound WWE superstar, maybe.
Yes, exactly. I'm going to play this Terramorphic Expanse. I'm going to sacrifice it and find a land. I'm going to find this mountain. We'll buckle up because the ride we're going on right now is the Nekuzar, the Mind Razor roller coaster. It's a 2/4. Beginning of each player's draw step, that player draws an additional card, and whenever any of you draws a card, it deals 1 damage to you, which is fine.
Nope. Not fine. Not fine.
I will pass the turn.
So I draw 2?
Mm-hmm. See, I'm helping.
And I take 2.
Also that, yes.
Oh man, that's...
Helping is like a relative term here.
you like Phyrexian Arena, right?
All right, we're going to start with an Island. And I'm going to start with my commander, the 5th Doctor. He's a 2/2 that says at the beginning of my end step, I get to put a +1/+1 counter on each creature that didn't come into play this turn or attack, and I also get to untap those creatures. So I will also get the Monarch from Faramir. I had a 4 CMC or greater legendary creature come into play, and I'm gonna choose not to go to combat so I can get some +1/+1 counters on my creatures. Faramir will also, on my end step, give me 2 human soldiers. And then that's it. That was my end step. I'll draw for the monarchy.
Oh. What happens when you draw?
Yeah, I'll take a point of damage too.
Oh.
Draw and hurt for 2. Why you gotta make these decks so complicated? Oh my goodness. Is this what it's like to be a land player? Let's tap 5. I'm going to cast Ashaya, Soul of the Wild. So, Ashaya, Soul of the Wild's power and toughness are equal to the number of lands I control. Yay! Casual 4/4. Also, non-token creatures I control are forest lands in addition to their other types. So, that means Ashaya is a land, which means that Lotus Cobra will trigger when it enters the battlefield. And I will make blue mana for the brand. Because my Lotus Cobra and my Spring Bloom Druid are forests, I will tap them for mana and use the blue mana in my mana pool. And I'll cast Splunking. Splunking is an enchantment. When it enters the battlefield, I'll draw a card. Ouch. And then I may put a land card from my hand onto the battlefield. The cave text will not be relevant. And lands I control enter the battlefield untapped. So, I will draw a card. I will take one from Nekusar. And I will put a Simic Growth Chamber onto the battlefield untapped.
Uh-oh.
This will trigger Lotus Cobra to make a blue mana and also return this island to my hand.
I don't know who to kill.
What?
I thought my hand had a chance to be a little bit scary. Like, I'm not even close now.
I still haven't made my land drop for turn, so I'm going to do that with this Terramorphic Expanse, and I will make a green mana with the Lotus Cobra.
Oh my gosh.
I will sacrifice the Terramorphic Expanse and search for a basic. I got a basic plains that will enter the battlefield untapped because of Splunking, and then I will add a red mana to my mana pool because of Lotus Cobra. Let's spend some of this stray mana and cast my commander, Omnath, Locus of Creation. Omnath, Locus of Creation is a 4/4 elemental. When it enters the battlefield, I draw a card. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under my control, I gain 4 life. And if it's the first time it's resolved this turn, if it's the second time this ability is resolved, I add 4 mana. And if it's the third time, I do 4 damage to each opponent and each planeswalker I don't control.
I like how CGB's all breathy and he reads it so dramatically.
I'm just enjoying the moment. I am a person who embraces the moment.
I enjoyed the
That's how
dramatic
Omnath
reading.
sounds in our head whenever we read the text.
It probably sounds that, or it's like the jelly bean, right? So people are like, "Here's Omnath, the locus of creation." Anyway, this enters the battlefield, and I will draw a card because of Nekusar, which will ping me for 1 damage. But wait, there's more. It's also a land, so I will get to add a mana to my mana pool. I will spend one of those green mana to play Sakura Tribe Scout. This lets me tap it to put a land from my hand into play. But it's a land because of Ashaya, so that will trigger landfall. I will add another mana to my mana pool, and I will add 4 mana because of Omnath. Oh yeah, and by the way, I also gained 4 life from Omnath because Omnath triggered itself when it entered the battlefield. So that was pretty cool. I'm going to leave a green mana in the mana pool and spend the rest of this. And I'll play my next land/creature. It is AC of the Gyre Strait.
Oh my goodness.
AC, Tyrant of the Gyre Strait, is a 6-mana 5/5 legendary creature serpent that says you may play an additional land on each of your turns. Isn't this exciting?
Oh no.
Whenever a land enters a battlefield under my control, I may draw a card. Okay, AC is, yes, a forest as well, so that's another landfall trigger, so Omnath will deal 4 damage to each of my opponents.
Reluctantly, I'll take it.
I will also add another green mana to my mana pool.
Stop.
And AC is a land, and so I get to draw a card and take 1 damage from Nekusar.
See, I'm keeping this even. I'm keeping him in check.
So now I may play an additional land because of AC, so I'll play this island. And that land entering the battlefield will make another mana with Lotus Cobra, and I will draw a card with AC, and I will take a damage from Nekusar. It's fine. I might as well. I like value. I can't not use this mana, guys. I can't. I just have to. I'll cast a Roiling Regrowth, which will let me sack a land and search my library for 2 lands. You put him on a budget, he still does the thing. These Mountain and Dish Here Forest will enter the battlefield untapped because of Splunking and generate 2 mana because of Lotus Cobra. I will make the 2 mana white mana. I will draw 2 cards, and I'll also take 2 damage.
Okay. Make it end.
I'm a horrible person. All right, let's spend the mana in the mana pool, and let's play Emiria Angel. Myria Angel is a 4-mana 3/3 angel flyer, and with landfall, whenever a land enters the battlefield under my control, I may make a 1/1 white bird creature token with flying. So this will enter the battlefield. It is also a land. I will make a white mana with the Lotus Cobra. I will draw a card with AC. I'll take a damage from Nekusar. Then I will cast Murasa Root Grazer. This is a 2-mana 2/3 beast with vigilance, and it can tap to put a basic land from my hand onto the battlefield, or I can tap it to return a basic land I control to owner's hand. Oh, I'm also going to make 1/1s with this Myria Angel on top of that. So that's the white mana, that's the green mana. This enters. It makes a mana with Lotus Cobra that you guys are going to love because I'm not going to use it. This will draw me a card because of AC. And I make the 2 creatures, the birdos, and they do not trigger Lotus Cobra, and they do not trigger AC because they are tokens, and Shaya only counts down tokens. I take the 1, and now my very long and full of terrors watch has ended.
I think I needed to draw a land to even be really productive on this turn.
Would you like one?
Obviously, you have plenty. I think I'm just going to cast Tyvar Jubilant Brawler here, which is a Planeswalker, comes in with 3 loyalty, but will be 4 because of Lae'zel. And I can activate abilities on creatures as though they had haste, and I can +1 to untap a creature, which will be nice with these mana creatures, or I can take 2 loyalty off of it to mill 3 cards and return a card with 2 or less cost to the battlefield. So we're going to put that at 4 temporarily. We will tap 2 to cast a Winding Constrictor, which is a fantastic 2/3, which also lets me get additional counters whenever something gets counters. And I think I'm going to move Tyvar up to 5 to untap the Birds of Paradise. And I'm just going to play a Carrion Feeder, which sadly cannot block all of CGB's monsters, but I can sacrifice a creature to put a +1/+1 counter on Carrion Feeder. However, that might just be my sad little turn. So, Veggie, help! Have fun.
Help!
Oh, wait, I actually have to draw another card because of Nekusar, which I forgot about. Unfortunately, that is not a land, but I still have to take the extra damage there. And still, your turn, Veggie.
Draw 2, and I'll take no damage.
Seems okay, I guess. All things considered.
I have complaints.
What could you possibly complain about?
Not enough space on his playmat.
All right, I'm gonna help us out a little bit, but we still have a lot to take care of over there. I'm gonna play this Sunken Hollow. I'm gonna pay 2 mana for Nightscape Familiar, which reduces my blue and red spells by 1 and can regenerate for 2.
Sweet.
And then I'm going to pay 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for Chandra Awakened Inferno.
Oh.
It can't be countered. +2, each opponent gets an emblem with, at the beginning of your upkeep, you take a damage. I can -3 to deal 3 damage to each non-elemental creature, or I can -X to deal X damage to target creature or planeswalker, and if it dies, then it's exiled instead.
That's bad for me.
No, it's fine for you. Don't worry about it.
It seems pretty bad for her.
It will be bad for you much later, because the important things. All right, give me a second. It will be fine for you. It'll be fine for you. Now, yes, I could deal 3 damage to everything, but you know what? That would leave alive Omnath, AC, Ashaya.
I get it. You want to try to kill this.
We gotta kill an engine piece.
You don't have to do anything. You're really gonna put your Chandra to 1?
Do what you must, sir. I do not fault.
You're really gonna play Chandra. Awakened Inferno is targeted removal?
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna -5, and we're going to deal 5 damage to AC and exile.
Toast.
All right, that's what I got. I will pass the turn.
Yeah, she's supposed to be in my deck.
I'm scared. I'm gonna draw 2 and take 2. Oof. I'm gonna go Plains for turn. I only have 5 mana. This is rough. Okay.
Can you get Omnath or Ashaya?
No, I have no removal. Sorry, friends. But what I can do is I can make your lands not come into play untapped anymore. Lauren of the Third Path. She's a 2/1 with Vigilance, and it says when she enters the battlefield, I can destroy up to 1 artifact or enchantment.
Yes.
Splunking? Not Soul Ring?
No, I think it's got to be the Splunking.
Splunking.
Soul
it
Ring
is.
looks like trash on your side of the board right now.
Right?
I'm going to pay 2 more, and we're going to cast an Ethereum Sculptor. 1/2 that allows my artifacts to come into play for 1 less. I'm going to go ahead and go to my end step. It'll get me 2 more soldiers because I'm the monarch. It'll give me a +1/+1 on all creatures already onto the battlefield, and I'll get to draw a card for the monarch. There we go. That will be my turn.
So I'm untapping with a Shia, an Omnath,
Yep.
and a Lotus Cobra,
Yep.
and an Emiria Angel.
Yep.
Veggie could not save us.
Okay. I will draw 2 thanks to Nekazar. I will take 2 damage. I'm going to make a mess.
As if you haven't already.
It's going to be a big mess. Let's start by paying 4 for a Felidar Retreat.
Oh, no.
I have regrets.
Oh, yes. This is an enchantment with landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield, I can create a 2/2 white cat beast creature token, or I can put a +1/+1 counter on each creature I control, and then those creatures gain vigilance until end of turn.
I really wish I would have saved Lauren of the Third Path for this Felidar retreat. Ugh, I have regrets.
I will play a mountain. It's my land drop for turn, and I will use my Lotus Cobra to make a green mana.
So
I will-
it begins.
Oh, there's a lot more. I will also use Emiria Angel to make another bird. This will be my summoning sick birdos, and the blue birds will be my unsummoning sick birdos. Let's spend that green mana, and I will play Greensleeves. This is a legendary elemental with protection from planeswalkers and wizards, and its power and toughness are equal to the number of lands I control. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under my control, I create a 3/3 green badger creature token. When Greensleeves enters the battlefield, that will make a bird token that will add a green mana from Lotus Cobra. That will activate Omnath, because that's the second land actually I played this turn. So the first one I gained 4 life from Omnath. And the second one, it makes mana. I do have another landfall trigger I almost forgot about because Greensleeves is a land. Thanks to Ashaya, Greensleeves will also make this badger.
What the heck?
Oh, man.
Badger, 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 badger.
Badger. So let's get these Felidar Retreat counters going. That's a +1/+1 counter on all of my creatures, and they gain vigilance until end of turn. I will eventually attack you guys a lot. I need to play more lands first, because that's what land decks do.
You're probably out of them, though, by this point, right?
You might be asking yourself right now, are we out of the woods? No. I'm out of the woods. I'm going
are you
to
kidding
awaken
me?
the woods. This is going to create X/1/1 Green Forest Dryad land creature tokens. X is equal to 7. All of them are gonna trigger landfall. I will make 5 green mana, 1 white mana, and 1 red mana with Lotus Cobra. Omnath has 1 more ability to go, so that means each of you are going to take 4 damage. Emiria Angel
boy.
is going to trigger 7 times, making me 7 more birds. So here's my 7 birds. While we're at it, let's go up to 7 badgers.
Oh, gosh.
Yes, the zoo is alive. And not to be forgotten, the 7 triggers from Felidar Retreat. Gimme the counters. I'll take all of the counters you have.
So everything is getting an additional 7.
7
Yeah.
counters. Yep.
Please don't give stuff trample. Like, that's kind of all we can hope for right now.
It's punching time. It is punching time. I'm not much of an aggro mage, but I know a punchy board when I see one.
Is that it? Is that one?
All right, PowerDragn, I'm going to attack you with Omnath, Emiria Angel, and Lotus Cobra. Veggie, I'm going to attack you with the Root Grazer and Ashaya, the Soul of the Wild. NerdGirl, I'm going to attack you with 2 Burbs.
I'm going to block with Nekuzar to Ashaya, and the Root Grazer is still 10.
Yeah.
Casual 10 Root Grazer.
Since I'm just letting this get run over by Omnath, I'm going to go ahead and sacrifice it to the Carrion Feeder so I can still get some counters.
Sure, I'll take 10.
I have no flyers, so I'll take 18.
All right.
Ugh.
NerdGirl, one more thing. Crown me.
No!
Oh, like insult to injury.
I did it all for the card draw.
No. You sure did.
All right, I will move to my end step. I will draw
And not take a
Monarch.
life.
I will not lose a life to some Nekusar. PowrDragn, go ahead.
Okay, I'm just going to be transparent here. I have no answer in my hand for all of that. We're going to tap 4 mana, and we're going to cast Teum, Luminous Enigma. So it's 4 mana, 3/3. Each other creature I control enters the battlefield with an additional vigilance counter on it, which will be a couple of vigilance counters. But then I can pay 3, remove the top 3 cards from my library, or actually I have to remove counters, 3 counters, and then I get to mill 3 cards, and I can return a permanent. Converted mana costs 3 or less from my graveyard to the battlefield. All right, so I know it looks crazy with CGB's board being huge, but realistically, if we get Insidious Roots, well, Teum will let us start getting stuff out of the graveyard, which makes more counters, it gets us more mana, so we could build up just as fast as him, but we've got to get the card first.
I maybe have some answers, but you can't attack CGB, so you should kill Chandra.
What?
That's my suggestion.
I mean, that's...
What? I mean, I don't love the answers. I love bad politics.
I mean, that's something.
Exactly. It's getting something off the board, and then I'm saying you can count on me to help with the CGB problem.
It makes sense. You guys have the lowest life totals.
Yes.
If he takes Chandra up just to do it, you
Then
guys could die from it.
Exactly.
Look, I know that I need the two of you to deal with this.
Taking advice from CGB right now feels like the cop saying, just trust me.
Azorius Mage.
But it is correct, though, I believe. So we will let this little carrion feeder that can't really block anything anyway attack Chandra.
One more thing, right?
I guess I have to. Okay, fine. Lae'zel will also attack Chandra.
Nice.
I mean, I don't like hearing that something's going to happen, but I love sneaky politics.
I can only take... I cannot let Chandra live. I'm at 8.
Chandra will take 6.
Okay, fair. All right, I'm going to minus Tyvar for 2, so we'll move that to 5 to return, I guess, this Winding Constrictor that got blown up previously. And it does enter with 2 vigilance counters on it. And I think that's going to be my turn.
I'm just going to play this Ramanap Ruins because, paying more life for things.
Do it.
Is,
Oh my God,
is
do
exactly
it.
what I need. Maybe later in the game that will certainly go on longer than this, I'll need to pay 4 and sacrifice his Desert to deal 2 damage to each opponent. But I'm not doing that now. I'm just going to pay 4 for more ramp. I'll play a Relic of Sauron. Taps for 2 mana of any combination of Grixis, and I can pay 3 and tap to draw 2 cards and discard a card. But that's it. Ass.
So I had 7 cards in hand, and I didn't realize that in those 7 cards, I didn't have a 6th land drop. But thankfully, I hit it off the top.
Oh, you were so... Okay, what are we doing?
Why does that matter? What is 6 mana good for?
6 mana is good.
Adios.
All right. PowrDragn is getting 4 creatures with over 3 power to kill the Tyvar, and Veggie is getting all the other creatures, including Lauren, who has Vigilance.
Yeah, I'm just going to let Tyvar die.
I'll block one of your tokens.
Okay, so the biggest token is 2, so you'll take 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, take the damage.
Okay, Tyvar goes to the graveyard.
PowrDragn, you and I are friends. You helped with the Chandra problem. I would like both of us to draw a card.
That seems like a fair exchange for you losing a Tyvar.
And then we're going to do the thing that has to happen in order to stop Veggie from destroying all of us, which...
What? No respect. What does a guy have to do to be arch enemy here?
I love that it's all this, and you're like, but so Veggie doesn't kill us.
How do we stop Veggie? That's what I need. That's what we need to do.
I meant CGB.
All right, so I'm going to tap 6 mana. I'm going to play Sigmund Freud.
She doesn't even want to say my name. She won't even say my
The hate
name.
is so thick.
I'm used to CGB being the problem.
You're still doing it.
Veggie B.
All right, I'm sure you guys are one person now, Veggie B. All right. I had this last time, but I didn't have 6 mana, so we're going to cast Austere Command, and we're going to choose 2. Destroy all artifacts, enchantments, creatures with 3 or less, or 4 or greater. And I was hoping that 4 or greater would be enough, but this last turn, there was too many tokens. So we're going to just choose both creature modes and clear the board.
So we're choosing both modes to destroy all the creatures.
Yes.
All of the
Yes.
creatures?
All of the creatures.
All of the creatures.
So see, Veggie?
I, CGB, do not approve of this.
Going away, going away, going away.
All right. I think I've done enough. I've done good work. CGB, it's your go.
Is this what it's like to lose like all your progress in Minecraft? You just gotta start all over again.
It probably feels exactly like that.
You were about to crash the client, so...
The return of the jelly bean. The jelly bean. Omnath. And when that enters, I will draw a card. But a lot less landfall triggers because without a Shia, no longer a land.
Thank goodness.
I'll play my land for turn. Landfall gains me 4 life from Omnath. And I will make a 2/2 cat beast with my Felidar Retreat. Boom. That's a beastly kitten. I will tap 3, and I'll cast Knight of the Reliquary.
Ooh.
This deck likes lands.
Yep.
This is a way to get lands. She gets +1/+1 for each land card in my graveyard, and I can tap to sacrifice a forest or a plains to search my library for any land card, put it onto the battlefield, and then shuffle. I'll move to my end step. I will enjoy my monarchy and draw a card. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm going to take a moment to organize my lands. Fortunately, I at least still have all 3 colors, so that's some good news. We'll play a forest.
Woohoo!
And we're going to cast, just like we started the game over again, Fyndhorn Elves. It's like right back where we came from.
It's your 3rd mana, Dork. You like
That's
ripped
true.
off the Band-Aid on these.
Kind of. But I do have a good useful card here, though. So I'm going to go ahead and tap 3. And we're going to play Night of Autumn, which gives me 3 choices. I can put +2/+1/+1 counters on something. I can destroy an artifact or an enchantment. Or I can gain 4 life.
Not a choice.
Now, I could destroy this.
He could definitely do
that
that.
Relic of Sauron.
He's never
but
going to do that.
I'm not going to do that. I'm going to get rid of Felidar's Retreat.
Yes! PowerDragn,
Dang.
you're my best friend.
All right. I did what I could. Your turn, Veggie.
All right, end of your turn, I will activate the Relic of Sauron to draw 2 and discard. I'll discard this Talisman of Dominance.
I knew I should have destroyed that relic.
Just drew me a card. Just drew me a card.
What's the Felidar Retreat ever done to anybody?
Right. Cards in hand count.
A whole 3.
7.
Oh,
5.
somebody's got 7 cards in their hand. So you're telling me if I pay this 3 mana, I'm gonna.
I know what's about to happen.
Look.
I thought there was no wheels. What's happening?
There's no wheels. There's no wheels.
I don't think it's going to be a wheel.
I'm gonna recast Nekuzar.
When Nekuzar asks that question, you always say, none of your business.
And then with Nekuzar back on the battlefield, I'm gonna pay my last 3 mana for this Jessica's Will.
Yep.
Thanks for having a full hand of cards there, girl. I'm gonna make 7 mana and exile the top 3 cards of my library.
At least somebody else here knows how to ramp.
Right. Here's a Sig River Cutthroat, a Haunted Ridge, and O'Hare Asheneel.
Oh, gosh.
Here's what I'll do. We're not gonna play any of these. How generous.
What?
If I cast this O'Hare Asheneel right now, then it's going to amp Nekuzar's damage up to 4 damage per draw and knock Nerdgirl out on her turn. But you know times are desperate if I have to keep her around to be able to win this game. I'm going to play this Exotic Orchard as my land for turn. I'm going to pay 1 blue and 2 for this Ophidian Eye. I'm going to enchant Nekuzar. Whenever enchanted creature deals damage to an opponent, I may draw a card.
Whoa.
I mean, you could be dead, so
My God.
just gonna do that. And I still have some mana left, so how
It's
about
keeping you alive to farm you for cards.
That's exactly what's
what
happening.
he's doing. This isn't generosity. This is the most disgusting depravity, and I love it.
no? I'll spend 3 more mana
You can cast him.
for this Scythe Claw Raptor. Oh, now you want out?
Cast him, Veggie. Chat will be very angry if you don't cast him.
Scythe Claw Raptor. When a player casts a spell, if it is not their turn, it deals 4 damage to them, which also a little rough for me, but
And me.
these cards will stay in exile, and I will pass the turn.
I don't like being used. So
Scoop in response.
I'm going to untap. And in my upkeep,
Yes.
we're going to cast Generous Gift. I'm going to destroy a permanent. Its controller can get a 3/3 elephant. and we're going to hit Nekusar.
You wanted me to just kill you?
I would have done the same thing in response to killing me. I wouldn't have taken the damage from Nekusar either way.
She kind of does have a point.
And honestly, at this point, you're disrespecting the gift of the elephant.
Look, oh my god, what a great gift. How generous.
Nekusar can't be a friend to the table. It doesn't have the capability. It can't be built that way.
Veggie has put me in a really tough spot. I was planning on using this generous gift on something of CGB's, but if I take a ton of extra damage from the card draw from Nekusar and I let Veggie draw even more cards, that's going to put me in a really rough spot, and I don't want to die to an Omnath trigger.
I thought for sure that CGB was big enough of a threat that I'd be able to keep this Ophidian Eye combo on the board, but now I'm stuck with one card in hand and a commander that costs 9 mana.
I'm going to unfortunately not be able to play a land, and I'll pass the turn.
Lance decks are absolutely cracked. They're so stupid.
They are very good.
They're so insane. I'll tap 6 and I'll cast Morang, Fury of Akum.
Oh, no.
This 6/6 Minotaur says, creatures I control get +1/+0 for each time they've attacked this turn. Landfall says if it's your main phase, there's an additional combat phase after this phase. And at the beginning of the combat, untap all creatures you control. I believe that plus Knight, since I would untap the Knight, I can get an extra land every time. So if this resolves, and if it survives going into the combat, I'm pretty sure you guys are getting attacked to death.
Yeah, sounds about right.
All right, CGB.
Yo.
Where are these combats going?
Oh.
Are you making a deal right now?
I mean, are you crazy? Because I could just kill you with landfall.
You could.
I have Omnath, and if you cast something right now, you're going to go to 4 from the Raptor.
Yeah. I will let it resolve if you kill Veggie first.
What?
I have no problem with this deal.
Then it will resolve.
Never forget, NerdGirl's deals always benefit NerdGirl. So I'm not going to take my eyes off her, not for 1 second.
NerdGirl's being slick here, trying to get Veggie dead first so she can cast something to keep us alive. So I'm just going to shut up and kind of back away to the corner and see how this plays out.
There's a plan, kind of. It's not a good one.
What do you think of the plan, Veggie?
Yeah, that's a great plan. Love this plan. Good time.
Excited to be a part of it?
Oh man, it's an honor just to be nominated.
It sounds like one of those plans that like 60% of the time, it works 100% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's the last play that I've got.
I will drop Boros Garrison as a landfall. And I will return this mountain to my hand. We will trigger Meringue, so I have another combat coming after this phase. And I will trigger Omnath. I will gain 4 life. Let's go into those combats, shall we? I will attack Veggie. This is a 3/2 cat beast because it gets +1/+0 for each time it's attacked this turn. And I will attack PowrDragn with Omnath, Locus of Creation.
I think I'm just going to let Omnath through on the first hit. And I'm going to take 4.
I'm going to have to block stuff eventually. I'll put the elephant in front of the cat beast.
Yep, those will trade, and you will take 5 commander from Omnath.
Oh, that's true. It is 5.
Veggie has to die first, hypothetically.
Yep, I'm going to my second combat. There isn't an untap step because this is the normal combat step. I'm just not going to attack in this combat step, and I'm going to pass into second main.
You already played your land for turn. What's happening?
I did play my land for turn. I'm going to tap Knight of the Reliquary in my second main phase. I'm going to sacrifice this forest and search my library for a land card and put it onto the battlefield. Responses?
Nope.
I have found Fabled Passage.
Oh, God.
This is the second land, so this will trigger the Fury, who now gets another combat after this. And also, it is going to gain me 4 mana. So that will make my Omnath mana. I will sacrifice Fabled Passage. Forest will enter the battlefield off the Fabled Passage. This will trigger Omnath. That is 4 damage to each of my opponents. That landfall will also produce an extra combat.
And I am down to 1.
Oh, God.
And I will head to that combat. I will untap my creatures. Veggie.
Hey.
Hey, Veggie. How you doing?
Okay, now you said you like deals, right?
Kind of, but I already made one.
You did make a deal, but
You
the
have to
deal
die
was,
first.
The deal was that she would let that be
Uh-huh.
if you killed me first.
Uh-huh.
But currently, any spell will just kill her.
That's right. While the raptor's on the field.
Right. So you don't need you still uphold your deal.
If I turn my back on the deal now, I'm an oath breaker, and it kind of screws her.
Yeah, that's what I'm going for.
I attack you, Veggie. You have no honor. It is a 10-9.
Yeah, that's the thing that kills me, so I'll put something in the way.
Die.
Okay, before the end of combat, but after damage has resolved,
Uh-huh.
I'm going to attempt to at least save PowerDragn.
Uh-oh. What are we doing?
All right, so what are my things are you
I like the
destroying?
sound of this plan.
I think I can save everyone, but the question is do I just let CGB kill Veggie first?
That's the question.
I think the answer is yes, because everything Veggie does is real bad for me. So yeah, proceed, kill Veggie.
Okay. I'm proceeding. The beginning of a new combat. Untap my creatures. Let's do it. Veggie, how you doing? I'll attack you with the Knight of the Reliquary. And I have to kill Veggie first, so I'm also going to attack PowerDragn with Omnath.
Technically, if I don't block, you're an oathbreaker.
That's right. But I know, especially after what she said,
In
there's a
fairness,
chance.
I would give him a pass if you choose to die.
Exactly. I'm going to block the Omnath with my Knight of Autumn.
Okay.
I will declare no blockers.
So you should take more damage.
Yeah. Take your 11. I mean, that's what happens when you play Nekazar, quite honestly.
I don't know if I've ever had more personal regrets in a game of Commander. It turns out that the best move for me a while back would have just been to try to kill NerdGirl with O'Hare Ashenil. It would have died, but then I would have been left in a better position.
All right. I'll end step because that's what apparently comes after third combat.
Sure.
And I'll draw for the Monarch and go ahead PowerDragn. I know, guys. I know. You can stop typing the comments now. I know. I could use Knight of the Reliquary and Morag, Fury of Akum, to have endless combats. Combat after combat after combat. But look at NerdGirl. Look at her. She's got something. You can tell she's got something. Make them make the first move.
That's not good. That's not good at all.
That's what I like to hear.
All right. We're going to play Eternal Witness, which will let me return a card from my graveyard to my hand.
You got a good one?
Not really.
You should get your fourth mana dork.
I mean,
that's
I
true,
could,
yes.
I could replay one of the other ones.
Episode title: PowerDragn discovers the power of mana dorks.
Exactly. All right. We're going to get a Bird of Paradise, and we're going to play that. If I'm alive, there is one random plan next turn, maybe. That's the best I can do is a possible. And I will pass to NerdGirl.
On your end step, I'm going to cast a removal spell, Stroke of Midnight. We're going to destroy a non-land permanent, and you're going to get a 1/1 human.
Yeah.
I think we have to kill Mr. Extra Combats.
Yeah.
That's
you
not
got
bad.
it.
That's fair.
Okay.
You little human bugger here.
All right.
This human's coming for you, though.
I'm gonna try to save us. All right, I'm gonna play an island for turn. I'm gonna play one of my commanders, Browne. She's a 2/3 that says the first historic spell I cast each turn has Convoke. And I'm gonna pass the turn to you, CGB.
All right. I'm going to tap 5. I'm going to cast Sylvan Reclamation. I'm going to exile Razortide Bridge.
That's strong.
Landfall and land destruction?
Just when you thought he couldn't be worse.
Okay, so I think I just need to cast this now, and I hate it. And I have a couple of options, but one of them I think leads to me being more dead. So I'm going to go ahead and cast Prismatic Strands. It can prevent damage from all permanents of a certain color, and I'm going to choose white, and then I'm going to let you... Which one was it? This one?
Yep. It had to be the artifact one.
It's going to get exiled past
So
priority.
why'd you play that? Oh, it's got flashback.
It sure does.
All right. I knew it. I knew she had tricks. I will untap.
And how convenient. All of your creatures are white now.
Oh, you're right.
Who would have planned that out?
Upkeep, draw.
I'm going to just do it in your upkeep just to be safe. And I'm going to tap my creature to bring back prismatic strands, preventing damage from all white sources.
All white sources.
Including Omnath triggers.
Including Omnath triggers. So you're
she can just do...
telling me.
So PowerDragn, we have one more turn.
You guys keep buying time. Why don't you just die? What is wrong with these people? I will draw for turn. Oh my gosh. At least you didn't get all decked out for nothing.
Hey.
Why do you say it weird like that?
I'm going to laugh so hard if PowerDragn swings for 4 and kills me.
No. At this point, you've earned the protection for at least a turn. Even
Is
if
it
I
from
had
creatures?
All sources that are white.
Sources that are white.
Yes.
That are white.
I had to do that.
That are white.
You can still kill me with something else.
Okay.
I mean, you could also just like deal 4 to all players with some red spell and we still die.
Oh, yeah, that would be something. I'm going to play Cabaret Courtyard and sacrifice it immediately to go find another land. Omnath triggers are going to be 4 life for me and 4 mana of all of the colors once that land enters the battlefield. 1 from Courtyard. All right, nerd girl. Respect. Respect. And this is how I show respect with my landfall deck. I'm gonna cast a World Soul's Rage.
Of course,
Targeting your face.
So I actually thought about doing green, but I was like, why take a damage from this? I don't think he's gonna have green direct damage, but I thought that'd be the one thing I could do, and I didn't. Oh no.
And I'm shooting you for 14.
That is...
For all of the shenanigans you've done.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man, I thought I was definitely going to be able to get one over on CGB. What an incredible play to destroy my land there. Making me burn that protection spell, I wouldn't say cost me the game, but it cost me from getting back into the game.
And I can get 14 lands from my graveyard and or hand onto the battlefield, as a landfall deck should. I only have access to 11, but that's pretty good too. So
you got this, PowrDragn. You got this. You got this.
So many wasted landfall triggers.
Goodness. Wasted?
Those don't even do anything when they come into play. It's just like such a waste. Like,
I'm gonna fireball you for 14 next. These are going to sacrifice. I will gain 2 life from them, and I'll get 2 more lands onto the battlefield.
all right, so what's the plan here?
Life finds a way.
Well, find a way to kill Omnath.
Boilerworks will return the Fable Passage to my hand. 49-1. 49-1. The Warriors blew a 3-1 lead. Okay, can't mess this up. I will draw for the Monarch. Do your worst.
Okay, so minimum here, I need to either find an untapped black source or a way to kill Omnath to just not easy die.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, that's not it.
Oh no.
That's not it. Oh no. Oh, is there anything else I can do here?
Don't go, Jack.
Yeah, exactly. Sort of what it feels like. Well, unfortunately, I didn't find a way to kill your Omnath, and I did not find a black source for this eerie ultimatum that's just sitting in my hand that would have gained me a pile of life. And oh well, you win.
Oh no.
Another one for the jelly bean. What up, little Hamlet? Hamlet, tell me, what card should I play? I need help.
No, I'll take coaching.
I might poke fun at landfall players from time to time, but honestly, it's a really hard deck to play. There's a ton of triggers and a ton of sequencing, and it takes a lot of experience to try to do it well. It actually made my head spin, and it did feel rewarding to see it all come together and finish off the table.
Special thank you to our sponsor, Tales of Adventure.
Get Magic card singles, play Magic, win. Get Magic card singles from TOA, play Magic, help out decked out, double win. And TOA has the best selection of Magic singles from everything from the most basic printings to the most premium versions you can possibly get.
And in addition to helping out your favorite Commander show, you'll also be getting 5% off. If you use code DECKEDOUT at checkout, you will get that 5% off your entire order.
What do you? Go, do it.
Yeah.
Oh, I was sorry.
Do you want to play?
I was thinking about my content schedule. I was making a grocery list. Just figured I would just do something useful with all the extra time. But my turn. All right, I know we're out of milk and probably need trash bags and need to get cereal, but probably the multi-milled, like toasters because those are just as good as Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Man, that was a crazy game. And honestly, we were so close. Like, if I could have drawn something to kill an Omnath, or if I'd have got the final Black Swords and we got the Eerie Ultimatum, we still could have won. But I can't be that upset. Seeing how absurd that game was, and it finishes that close, I'll take it.
Moxfield is the best deck list site available. It has everything you need to customize, compare, and collaborate. View and brew the way that works for you. Moxfield is the only way that we can track and share all of our spiciest builds here on the show, and whatever Veggie is playing. Make sure to follow our Moxfield profile in the link in the description.
Editor, put in a arena rope here.
Yeah, editor.
Yeah, exactly.
There is I'm roping. I need to rope sometimes, okay? It's a thing.
I was so close to getting back into that game. I had double protection, I had a counter spell, I had another removal spell. All I needed was for CGB not to find a way to destroy my lands. Ugh, brutal. Ultimate Guard is the industry leader in TCG accessories. We love their stuff, and we know you will too. In fact, every single playmat, sleeve, or deck box featured on this show is an Ultimate Guard product. So make sure to use the link in the description to support our channel and treat yourself to some amazing upgrades.
It looks all innocent, that they're just going to have a little landfall trigger here and there, but it's never just one, is it? No, it goes on and on and on.
Well, you know what? Lesson learned. Even with an Omnath popping off all game, the hate for Nekuzar is still too strong. One day, I will be able to keep that boy on the board.
And on and on and on and on.
To wrap things up, we would like to thank our patrons. Without your support, this show would not be possible.
Yeah, it's thanks to patrons like you, Rick, that we're able to keep this show weekly, and that means the world to us.
And if you'd like to become a patron, you can head on over to our Patreon, unlock exclusive perks like signed tokens from the guests and cast, get into some spell table games with us, or you can even join patrons like OG Show and become one of the patron producers, where you get to help pick the themes and guests that we bring onto the show.
And of course, Richard, you can always support us by liking the video and subscribing to the channel. That's all we've got for you for today. We'll see you next time on
Decked Out.
And on and on.